Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is great to be here. I really love coming to the TSTCs of the world because of the incredibly important work that you do. And I really do appreciate everything that goes on here, not just in Harlingen, but across the entire TSTC system. I want to talk a little bit before I get into some other related things about JET, about the economy. Generally speaking, about the economy, and as the judge said, we are better off. We are certainly not perfect, but I want to give you some statistics that I think will sort of put that into perspective. The latest unemployment rate across the United States, unemployment is 9.5%. In the state of Texas, it is 8.2%. Texas's unemployment rate has been lower or below the national rate for 43 months. That's 3.5 years, which is pretty fantastic. And since January the 1st, the state of Texas has added 178,000 jobs. And that is significant. Now, I would like to say that we were adding 20,000 jobs a month, which is when we're really rocking and rolling. But we've been adding about 10 or 12,000 jobs a month, and I would expect that to pick up. Housing. People, if you're employed but are out of your house, that's pretty tough. Well, our foreclosure numbers in the state are substantially different than other places. In Texas, 1 out of 819 mortgage holders gets a Dear John letter. That, to be compared to Nevada, it's 1 out of 82. 1 out of 82 mortgage holders in Nevada gets a Dear John letter, you are out of your house. If you're in Arizona, it's 1 out of 167. If you're in Florida, it's 1 out of 171. And if you're in California, it's 1 out of 200. Well, that helps us feel better. We feel perkier. And the consumer confidence numbers that you read a lot about, it's a two-step number. How do I feel today? 1 to 100. How do I think I'm going to feel in 6 months? 1 to 100. You get the average. In Texas, in our region, we're at almost 65, 64.8. The U.S. is at 50.4, and there are places in the Rust Belt that are in the teens. Some of those folks in Michigan and other places have had very substantially difficult times. Overall, in the state of Texas, sales taxes are up about 2.2%. Now, why are sales taxes important? If you look at all the tax revenue that funds the government that the state has, sales taxes are about 61 to 62% of all tax revenues. And consumer buying sales taxes is over half. So I tell my husband that it's my job as comptroller. It is my obligation to spend, and generate sales tax. Now, so far, he has not subscribed to that, but I keep telling him it's my job to generate sales tax, so at least as long as I can keep the government running. The budget process. We're getting ready to go into the next session, and you're going to hear a lot about numbers. Well, let me just sort of put it in perspective. We just left New York about 2 weeks ago. And what the state of Texas does is we front-end fund public education through what's called a TRAN, a tax revenue anticipation note. We expect tax revenue, we anticipate it will come in, and so we front-end load public schools because the bulk of their money doesn't come in until November, December, January. And so we went into the market for a $7.8 billion TRAN, which we do every year, and we were notified we got the highest ratings from Fitch's, Standard & Poor's, and Moody's. That does not mean that they think we're rolling in cash, but we do have a rainy day fund of about $7.8 billion sitting in our coffers right now, and that's expected to rise to about $8.2 billion by next August, which is when this biennium we're in finishes. And they were very appreciative of the fact that we had been prudent, we've been careful. So it's partly because of the government policies followed in Texas that we're doing better. We have not overspent. We did not have, incredible subprime mortgage losses here. Your state has been spending fairly carefully. And we also understand about jobs. So let me come back to all of this while we're here today. If you care about job creation, you try to do the things that will help you create jobs, and of course you have to train folks to do that. The legislature last time created the JET Fund, and it's Every Chance Funds, and there are three funds. There's one for $10 million for equipment. Why equipment? Because we discovered in talking to community colleges and the technical TSTC folks that one of the most expensive things to get was not classroom space, but was equipment. And so that has been very, very useful. $5 million in scholarship, and then $10 million to nonprofits to help get people on the escalator. In some cases, you may have a single parent, they need some transportation, need some babysitting, they're trying to get on that next escalator up. And TSTC has gotten $340,000 in scholarship, and as he pointed out, $36,000 in Harlingen to 36 students in health, computers, HVAC, and others. And I think we may have some folks. I'm not sure whether is Michael Martinez here today. All right, Michael. See, he's here, and he's a scholarship getting some money. He's studying engineering and scheduled to graduate this fall. Congratulations. In that same field is Ruben Gutierrez here. Ruben, okay. He picked up his education after a decade, which is wonderful. Congratulations for coming back. Plans to graduate next spring, and that's fantastic. And we want your stories to remind people that you can have a stopping place, then you get back on the escalator and you keep moving, and congratulations to you. We think that's terrific. We were able to use the JET scholarships to pay for industry certifications that go alongside your associate degree. And also there was a $300,000 launch pad to VITA and $400,000 in the lower Rio Grande Valley. All of these are important efforts to get people trained because we think that's pretty nifty. Now, Hector Cantu, I don't think he's here, but he's getting an is Hector here? I don't think so. I think he's getting ready for the fall. He's in HVAC and student, and I think that's wonderful. What he said was after a 20-year gap, he's now 40, he's older than I am, I'm 29. After a 20-year gap, when he worked dead-end jobs, he's learning a trade to support his family, and he says that the weekly counseling and help with books and so forth has helped him. It's vital support. I think these are just important stories, but they're really just part of a very small picture. South Texas College also got $500,000 from the Launchpad Fund for tuition, books, fees, counseling, etc. All of these are important, and when you take a look at where this